Welcome to another exciting episode of Unraveling Intellectual Property with Michael Stein. Today, I have my spring 2025 legal intern, Tegan O'Connell. Thanks again for being here. Previously, you had done a wonderful interview of me, and now it's time for me to interview you. Um, so I got the question, what's the topic?
The topic is knockoffs and how to protect your brand from fake products.
Okay, well, people like the fake products, but the brands clearly don't do that. Let's get into patents, and they last 20 years, as many of us know. How can companies protect their products from being infringed upon? Uh, you mentioned this thing called singularity, but I think it means like a sole source, or because if they use licensees, then that would be fine. But
Well, a lot of companies struggle to protect their products outside of the original patent uh, period. For example, Birkenstock has been in the news lately for attempting to file for copyright protection for the style of their shoes after their design patents have expired. This was ultimately denied, but I do think that seeking alternate routes for protection after the expiration of the patent would be the right choice. I think trademarks, though, are where most brands go.
okay, but you said Birkenstock wasn't successful. Where were they not successful?
They weren't successful in, it was a case in Germany,
Okay.
and they weren't successful because it was a functional art and because it was a shoe that you wear and not, it wasn't something that you can just look at and call it art.
So theoretically, the result could be different in the United States, but uh, that was the battle between the functionality, design patents, and the copyright, and how to get that extra protection.
Yeah.
Um, I know other companies sometimes might use trademarks. I mean, to do that with, I guess one instance is Coke and the Coke bottle. Don't they have a trademark on the Coke bottle?
Yes, they do. And a lot of other companies have trademarks for the shape and style of their shoes specifically. Birkenstock is currently, they have a trademark pending for the style of their shoes. So that's how a lot of brands will protect their brand uh, by trademarking specific aspects that are specific to their brand and that are recognizable as being that brand.
I know, and I'm terrible with the pronunciation, Labutin, or something. And they have a trademark, I know, on the sole of their pumps,
Yep.
the red or something.
Yep, the Louboutin red shoes. That's that's a big thing. I mean, a lot of shoes, Adidas, for example, has a trademark on the three stripes on the side of the shoes. And that helps them with knockoffs because if somebody's making a knockoff Adidas shoe, the way you identify that the shoe is Adidas is the three stripes. So if they're making a knockoff shoe, it can't have the three stripes. It's gonna have one or two, and it's just not gonna be the same.
And then you have here something about a Walla. You can buy knockoff of Wallas. I guess you can buy knockoffs of anything, but any particular comments on the Walla?
Yeah, so the Awala is a water bottle that has recently been very popular. And as we see it with a lot of popular brands, it has shown up in stores like a TJ Maxx or Home Goods or Target. And there's been versions of it that are not quite the same, but similar enough that people looking for the same trend of the Awala will buy these water bottles for, say, $15 instead of $50.
Okay. I know when for the protectors for the phones, Apple sells the piece of plastic for $50, I'm pretty sure you can get, but those probably don't have much of a protection like the old Olala brand, which I'm not even familiar with, but I'm sure there's something special about it.
Yeah, it's the flip lid has it's a regular water spout and then there's a straw within it. So you get both the open and the straw.
Okay, all right. So we already covered it's possible for the trademark the look of a shoe. Do you think brand protection, trademark protection alone is enough to protect a product?
I definitely think so. And I think we see this in a lot of cases, but specifically, I think we're going to see this in an upcoming case with Tapestry, the owner of Coach, which makes bags. They are currently suing the fast fashion company Shein for trademark infringement, as Shein has a series of bags and perfumes on their website that are Coach branded. They're honestly almost identical in the photos, but they're not Coach bags, and they cost $50, whereas an actual Coach bag is pricier. So
I'm sorry, when you say Coach branded, does it say Coach on it?
yes, it does. It says Coach on it, and it has the really signature C pattern on it, where it's just a series of C's facing each other across the bag, which Coach does own a trademark for. So I think that will definitely help them in that case.
And what would you imagine Shein, what's the name of this fast fashion?
Shein.
What do you think could be their defense?
I honestly don't even know. It's the thing that complicates it is that these products show up under their marketplace tab, which I believe is kind of like eBay, where it's like other people can sell things through this site. So their defense could be the fact that, well, we're not the ones actually selling it, or we didn't post this listing. However, this brand is very known for infringement. It's, if you want a popular trend on TikTok, if you want it for cheap, you go to Shein.
So that's a business model.
I guess so.
And then just move on to the next product and keep your assets secure someplace else.
Yep.
Okay. The question is, because knockoffs are everywhere, you can go down the street, New York, Times Square, you can online, anywhere, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, Walmart, you name it. To what extent do you think trademark owners should police their marks? And I mean, you could basically spend all day long, 24 hours a day, just going on. Would you go into a street and say, you're infringing my mark, and start grabbing the stuff?
No, I don't think that the street vendors are really what these brands are worried about. I think they're worried about the online vendors like we see on Amazon, and like we see on websites like Temu and DHgate, where they have these products that they claim to have the same product as, you know, Lululemon, the same product as all of these like luxury fashion brands, but for significantly cheaper prices. I think those are the ones that a lot of companies worry about pursuing, and those are the ones that get hit with infringement lawsuits.
But did you do some research about takedowns? Or maybe it wasn't you, about these Amazons and Walmarts have takedown procedures, so they're not necessarily filing a lawsuit. They're just basically demanding that the seller post gets taken down.
Yeah, they I know those websites have those mechanisms. TikTok also has that for TikTok Shop.
Okay.
So these companies definitely try to work with trademark owners to make sure that their products aren't being infringed on, but there's really only so much they can do. There's so many claims that they can follow up on, and it's the responsibility of the trademark owner to keep an eye on.
Right, they don't want to get involved in likelihood of confusion and all these legal issues kind of thing. Do you have anything else to add?
No, not really. I'm kind of just looking forward to seeing what happens with Shein and Coach, or Tapestry, seeing how that unfolds, and whether maybe this could be the downfall of Shein.
Okay, I've never heard of it, but it seems like there is somebody. So how do you spell that?
SHEIN.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Teghan, and thank you, audience, to another interesting episode of Unraveling Intellectual Property with Michael Stein. I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Till then, take care.